It says
All
up
right, we're
there.
live. There we go. All right, welcome back for another episode of the Lowly Line Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Laney Pavlon. Well, it's having me tonight. I have my colleague Justin Hibbert and Daniel Ford should be around for tonight.
Yep.
Expect to see some Herbert Solomon.
Yep.
Speak on this podcast later. I did reach out to him. Let's see if he answers the call and joins us. Of course, as always, we take questions and comments from the live chat. We want to hear from you about everything that happened this past race weekend. And I know we are on a Tuesday, but yesterday we just were not able to make it. But Tuesday is here, and you know what? Maybe it's sunk in now. All that stuff that happened out on the racetrack, whether it was NASCAR, F1, or IndyCar, or there was the two sports car races of IMSA and the VLN, or in the regional ranks where championships were crowned, or a new star was born. I think we're gonna just continue on, and as we always do, we're gonna jump right into our first discussion, which is always NASCAR and 400 miles at Las Vegas. And guess who ended up winning the gold, the jackpot, the money? Denny Hamlin. And on the 1-year anniversary of Hamlin's announcement of a team being formed by him and Michael Jordan, he goes to victory lane, winning at Las Vegas. The South Point 400 went to Denny Hamlin, just like in the first round. He wins the first race in the round of the playoffs, and he is strong. He led 137 laps, won stage 2, start 6. It's a 46th career win. Whether or not he reaches win number 50, I highly doubt he might get there. But if he goes on a Jimmy Johnson tear, you never know. But regardless, this is his year. He is just as tired as everyone else that's cheering him on of Denny not getting a championship. And boy, it did show. This round was pretty much, I think it would have been his best round, or round of 16. He's got a lot of great tracks, even ahead in the round of 8 in the championship 4. It's hard to pick them apart of which pair of tracks, which trio of tracks are better for Denny because he's so good at them. But he certainly put the pieces together. I mean, it wasn't easy. He did have to hold off Chase Elliott and find that right line on the track. And Chase had to work really hard to get to Denny. And once he got there, it looked like a move could have been made, or a few, but just wasn't enough laps left in the race for Chase to get the job done. But give credit to where credit's due. Chase Elliott led 1 lap, started 11th, but brought his Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet number 9 into the second spot. Hometown favorite Kyle Busch brought it home 3rd. I know the fans kind of expected more out of him maybe this year as he's been successful on the mile and a half, like Kansas, as he got the win in Kansas this year. Kyle Busch, he had an up and down night. Had a fender rub around the middle of the race, got that taken care of in the pits during one of his stops, and brought it home to a 3rd place finish. He led 2 laps, started 10th. This is the kind of race Kyle Busch needs. The round of 12 does not suit him well, or whatever round includes Talladega or the Charlotte Roval, that is.
Yeah,
so which might be the best it's going to get, even though Kyle Busch has won Talladega before, but not since 2008, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Charlotte Roval, I mean, Kyle Busch's statistically worst track is that road course. He is not finished above the top 20. Martin Truex Jr., who won this race 2 years ago, in fact, Truex is very good at Las Vegas, statistically speaking, led 1 lap, started 4th, finished 4th. A nice solid run for Truex Jr. Talladega might be his best track in the Xfinity series, but we're talking Cup here. So it's hard to tell where that's going to apply. He's still wanting to win a major super speedway race in the Cup series. It hasn't happened yet. Ryan Blaney rounds out the top 5. I think this might be his best round. Blaney led 8 laps, started 2nd, finished 5th. He's got 2 great tracks coming up for his benefit. Let's see how Ryan Blaney does. He might be the leader of the Cape for Team Penske.
But say, what did he do?
Yeah, that's my first hiccup of the night. Let's continue on. First non-playoff driver I've mentioned so far is Tyler Reddick. He was very solid out there. 5 laps, started 13th, front 6.
Yeah, good run for. I know he's not in the playoffs, but good run for him and Richard Childress with that. He getting points.
Yeah, he's certainly doing a brilliant job out there. And I think Talladega is a track where Reddick could very well spoil the party of these 12 playoff drivers here. we'll see what happens. But right now, Vegas, it was a solid race. This is the kind of mile and a half that Tyler Reddick is very used to being successful at. Brad Keselowski, a track that usually suits him well. He did lead 4 laps, started 8th, but just wasn't enough to crack the top 5. He finished 7th. Kurt Busch, the hometown favorite that won last year, started 20th. He's no longer in the playoffs, but did bring it home in 8th. You get to see 2 Busch brothers in the top 10. Kevin Harvick, 9th, and Kyle Larson, who won stage 1, led 95 laps after being put on the pole position by the metric qualifying system that NASCAR is used for this portion of the season. Larson rounds it out in the top 10. He had a good early race car, but by the time the sun set, things just didn't seem to go well for him.
No, also strategy. Remember, if you remember after stage 1, they ran a few laps. Remember Joey Gase? He ended up crashing. He caused the caution. Those people like Denny Hamlin and them, they pitted under that yellow. The other Hendrick cars, all the Hendrick cars pitted, but Chase Elliott was able to rebound. Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, and Chase and William Byron were a lap down, and Larson his car was good, but then Bowman and Byron's car was not good in traffic, which really hurt them. But yeah, Kyle Larson, if he would have pitted, if he did the same strategy as Hamlin, he would have probably been there for the win in that 5 car.
There were not as many cautions as a lot of these drivers expected to see. Comparing to last year's fall race, 2 years ago, and especially 3 years ago, this was not the same kind of expectations I think the teams had. And, well, you got to be prepared for everything in the NASCAR Cup Series in order to win a championship in this division. 11th place, Joey Logano, another driver who I'd say wasn't fulfilling most of the expectations that they had of Logano going in, like the critics had of Logano going into Vegas, as this has been one of his better tracks. Austin Dillon, likewise to what Justin said, Richard Childress Racing had a good showing. He led 7 laps, started 15th, brought home in the top 15. And then for these 2 drivers, Motorsports, William Byron, he did lead 7 laps, started in the 3rd spot, but had a struggling race. And Alex Bowman outside the top 20, not the race that he wanted. And round of 12 has been an up and down swing for a driver like Bowman that we've seen in the past 2 years where he was involved in the round of 12.
Yeah, like last year, Alex Bowman didn't make it to the round of 8. No, the year before, 2019, remember, he failed to make the round of 8. In 2020, he made it to the round of 8 from the round of 12, which had these same 3 races last year are in this round. Vegas last year, he did good. Talladega, he got damaged. Remember last year, Alex Bowman, Talladega got damaged? He managed to finish good. The Roval, remember the Roval? He barely got in from the Roval. After Kyle Busch is, pitting too early and thinking he could make it, but ran out of fuel. That's how Bowman got into the round of 8. So this round has been up and down for the 48 team, for Alex Bowman. Some years he's good, some years he's bad here. So we'll see what Talladega brings him, because he's going to play trucks, but he basically just has to stay out of the chaos, big ones that we see. Sure. Yeah.
Well, let's continue on. Christopher Bell was the last of the 12 playoff drivers to be in the final order. He finished in the 24th spot. Just didn't have much of a race, to be honest. We've seen better runs from the 20 team, that's for sure. So now we are 1 race down. We have 2 races to go, and this is a very tricky round because we have 3 completely different racetracks. We got a 1.5 mile intermediate oval. We got a super speedway at Talladega, where we're going to see a lot of restrictor plate style of racing, and then the road course at Charlotte Motor Speedway to close this round of 12, which will leave us with the round of 8, sending 4 drivers out of championship contention. Yeah. So Denny Hamlin's win with 3:08.2 on the points is enough for him to be in the next round. He's good to go. But these guys are not mathematically in at all. That includes Kyle Larson, who's plus 57 above the cut line with 3:09.6 points. With Kyle Busch, he has plus 35 above the cut line. Mark Truex Jr. plus 31 over the cut line. Then Ryan Blaney plus 24, Chase Elliott plus 22, and it gets very thin from here. Joey Logano plus 6, and his teammate Brad Keselowski plus 4. The cut line then presents. Then we go to 9th place with William Byron minus 4 beneath the cut line. Kevin Hart minus 7, Alex Bowman minus 13, Christopher Bell minus 25. Minus 25 is going to mean nothing when we go to Talladega next week. You're going to see the points fluctuate. I bet you NBC is going to show it where everybody is at the exact moment on the spot during the race. One thing I've noticed about the gap, like in the Cup Series, outside of Hamlin and Larson, it's pretty close. Even if you're in your 30s above the cut line, or you're not safe. You're not going to be safe until the end of the round. You might get away with it after the round of 16 or during the round of 16, but here, I mean, these drivers are more vulnerable to anything happening to them than being, secure into the next round. I think after Talladega, before the Charlie Rover, you get a really good glimpse of who's really in, who's not. I know there's some chances of drivers that could lock in after the Talladega, particularly Kyle Larson.
I was about to say, I thought you were going to say Carl Long. I'm like, what?
No, Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
He's plus 57 over the cut line, so it looks like he might be in the better spot that he could clinch if he gets enough stage points at Talladega and stays out of trouble. But here's the thing, staying out of trouble, we don't even know if you can at Talladega. It's hard to do it, and with the stage points on the line, you have to be daring to get to those positions at the end of these stages. We've seen these crashes typically at the end of the stages with the stage racing since 4 years ago, so see how that fares out. Well, let's take a look at what happened on Saturday. We had the NASCAR Xfinity Series race, and wow, it was an interesting showing. Yep. Once again, Josh Berry, who is going to drive for Junior Motorsports next year, showed to everybody that he has what it takes to run for this Xfinity Series championship. Yeah, he's got that first win at Martinsville. That was a brilliant one. But, hey, you got to run well at all the tracks.
Yeah, and mile and a halves. There's more mile and a halves on the schedule. He ended up winning at Las Vegas in that number 1 car. He was filling in for Michael Annett, which he is in that car again at Talladega. But solid run. Remember, he could have won Michigan. Remember, he had an utter chance to get another win, which was Michigan early on in that 1 car. And here, he went to Michigan at Las Vegas. He almost won Michigan, but he won here at Vegas.
And Michigan's a different kind of track, so that's already enough to show that he can drive there super speedways. So, yeah, Josh Berry led 38 laps. He started 15th. It's his second career win, second of the season. An outstanding job. Guys at Junior Motorsports, I'm definitely sure they're proud of the effort that Josh Berry put together in this Junior Motorsports 1-2-3 finish, by the way. 2 championship contenders, 2nd and 3rd. Justin Allgaier won stage 2. He led 90 laps in the race, but fell shy to his teammate. He started 3rd. Noah Gragson led 1 lap in his home race, started 9th, and brought it home in 3rd in car number 9. Austin Cindric was placed on pole by the metric system. He led for 33 laps, brought it home in the 4th spot. Good points day for sure. I'd say that was a fantastic one. So is Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick, in the long run, still needs some work to do to get really through this round into the next one, points-wise. But a great run as expected from Hemrick, a top 5 effort. Brandon Jones finished 6th behind his teammate. Now, Brandon Jones is going to have a little more work to do to get into the next round. We'll talk about the playoff grid and all that when we get there. 7th place, AJ Allmendinger. Won stage 1, led 20 laps, and started 2nd and finished in the 7th spot. I'd give a call to Ty Dillon in 8th place. Probably Jordan Anderson's team's best run yet in terms of an Xfinity Series race, being a threat to win. He took that factory-powered South Point Chevrolet from 28th spot, led 17 laps after being collected in the big wreck early on in the race. It sustained a little bit of damage, but the valve scars carried on. He finished 8th.
Yeah, solid run for Ty Dillon. I knew Ty Dillon would do good. Like, I hate people that say Ty Dillon is the worst because he only has 1 Xfinity win, I know, but Ty Dillon's been close to win many more Xfinity races. He always just in the wrong place, wrong time in crashes, or he's just close, but then something happens when he's leading. But Ty Dillon, solid run in that 31 team.
I hope they put him in for more races if
like our Motorsports too, because Blaine Perkins, he's running, which he's solid. Another driver,
Let's
Tanner,
continue.
but we, yeah.
Tanner Berryhill and Natalie Decker, we get it.
Well,
Ninth
now
place, Justin Haley led 2 laps, started 4th. He finished. I bet you he's going to be the most dangerous of the drivers when we go to the next track. And Harrison Burton rounded out the top 10. He might have some more work to do, or might need more work to do. He had trouble getting bonus points throughout the season. Just to point out, 11th place Ty Gibbs is representing Car 54, which is competing for the Owners' Championship for Joe Gibbs Racing. Keep an eye out for that entry for the rest of the season. Let's move on to 15th place playoff driver Myatt Snyder, started 12th. I don't know if 15th was enough. He's going to have more work. He's going to need more work to do in the next 2 races to get there. And you know what? This could be a good round for him. He is definitely a great driver on the road courses. Spent a year overseas in the European NASCAR division. If that doesn't speak volumes, I don't know what does. And then he got his first career pull on his debut for Richard Childress Racing at Daytona in the 300-mile race last year. So just take that for what you will. Had a very strong car that day. So don't throw away Myatt Snyder just yet. 20th place, Blaine Perkins, career best finish. Give him a call. First time in the top 20. Start 24th. For our Motorsports. Let's move down the list. Riley Herbst, unfortunate for him, he started 10th, was taken out in that early wreck, and the hometown driver had a retirement. Dylan Lupton was also collecting that wreck. By the way, for Dylan Lupton, this was his first start since the 2018 race at Pocono in the Xfinity Series, so end of a 3-year hiatus for him. Jeb Burton and Jeremy Clements, 36 and 39, they were also retired from the race on that lap 30 crash, and now they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
going into Talladega.
Well, we know Jeb Burton is kind of forward to look. I know his last one was Talladega. He wants to try to sweep there. Last time we know there was rain, but Jeb Burton had a fast car that whole race. He's gonna look.
Let's even look last year. Last year, Joe for Junior Motorsports was leading at the white flag, got passed by his future teammate Justin Haley for the win in the spring race. So
he has a good shot this weekend.
Jeremy Clements got his best career finish outside of that win at Road America at Daytona. So take it as he will. I mean, it's similar to Talladega, where all the might. And yeah, the second race in the round of 12 will be at Talladega. The round consists of Las Vegas, which is complete, Talladega for 300 miles, and then Charlotte Road Course for a Grand Prix distance. Austin Cindric, he's not locked in yet, but plus 66 above the cut line. I knew the series we were going to see a lot of the early lock-ins for the next round. Don't be surprised to see if the top 2 get locked in, whether they win or not after Talladega. If they finish well and get the stage points that they should be getting. 209.3 for Cindric, 208.6 for Allmendinger. Third place, Justin Allgaier. It's plus 38 for him above the cut line. Allgaier is 206.5 on the points. Fourth place, 37 points above the cut line is Noah Gragson. Fifth place, 34 points above the cut line is Daniel Hemrick. This might be a good round for Hemrick as well. He is great on the road courses. That closes the round. Sixth place, Justin Haley. He's going to be a threat for sure. I bet you he'll be quick to find a way to. I wouldn't be surprised if Collie Racing might go 4 in a row. Who knows what that's going to be? But the field will definitely get more competitive. I'm sure they have to in order to stop them. Harrison Burton plus 13 above the cut line, and Brandon Jones 8th place. Remember, at the end of the round, 4 drivers lose championship contention, bringing into the round of 8. Brandon Jones plus 10. So now we go look at the cut line. The cut line's pretty close. Don't be fooled by the Xfinity Series history of this round. Mike Snyder is minus 10 beneath the cut line. If he pulls out some good stage points, he'll be in a good position for the Roval. And you do not want to have Mike Snyder to worry about at the Charlotte Roval race. Jeb Burton is someone that might be tough to pass at Talladega with the team he's driving for. Minus 27 beneath the cut line. He will need those stage points for sure. Riley Herbst has a lot of work to do. He had a very interesting run. Ran towards the front for most of the race at the Charlotte Roval. Talladega, I don't know too much of Riley Herbst. He did get an ARCA win there last year, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to tell how.
Last year, he didn't win that. That was Drew Dollar. He turned.
Yeah, he was the one that got turned.
He's the one that got into Michael Self.
Oh
yeah.
Okay. Or should I say almost won? But
yeah.
And then Jeremy Clements minus 36. He really needs to take advantage of the draft at Talladega. All right, let's talk trucks, shall we?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the start of the race did not translate to the finish of this race at all. We did not expect any of this. But yeah, the Las Vegas 200. We're getting very close to the end of the Truck Series season for round 19 of this 22 race calendar. And the first of 3 races in the round of 8, which determines our championship 4. Yeah, Truck Series are already there. They're one more round away from getting our 4 drivers confirmed for the champion, but none of them are. Let's explain. Christian Eckes, driving the Mike Curb fielded entry for Thorsport Racing and Toyota, led only 4 laps, the final 4 laps of this race. He started 15th and picked up his first career win at last. He's a Truck Series winner. Christian Eckes, who was competing full-time last year for Kyle Busch Motorsports, won the ARCA Championship 2 years ago, had a very solid run, just could not break the glass ceiling to get to victory lane. And I know it's politics, so don't bash me on that, please. And then, well, he got not thrown out, but, put to the side from Kyle Busch Motorsports. He was still under the Toyota contract, so drove for Thorsport while Grant Finger announced that he's not going to run full-time anymore. Well, to be fair, he only missed 1 race. I think he should have retracted that statement, but still, Eckes had the opportunity to drive, and he was put in the 98, and this was one of the few races he was put in that truck, and he delivered. That was an absolutely phenomenal drive for Christian Eckes. And by the way, history was made in the Truck Series, as for the first time in the 26-year history of the NASCAR Truck Series, a team finishes 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in a race. That has never been done in the history of the NASCAR Truck Series, but Thorsport can say that they have done it, with Ben Rhodes, the playoff driver, leading 5 laps, starting 7th. A great drive by Rhodes, as expected. He got his first win here actually 4 years ago for the team. He's only driven full-time in the Truck Series for Thorsport since 2016. So he's very skilled. But it's a far cry from the amount of years that Matt Crafton's driven for them. Of course, the 3-time champion. Didn't lead any laps, but he started 6th. He finished 3rd. A great point save for Crafton. Remember, he's looking to become the 2nd driver in the history of the Truck Series to win 4 championships in this division. And, of course, the veteran Johnny Sauter, who came back to Thorsport 2 years ago and has been with them ever since. He led 2 laps, started 11th, but nice to see him back in the top 5. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. A team win, to say the least. For one of NASCAR's longest fixtures of the 21st century. All right, 5th place, Todd Gilliland. He was the truck to beat. Narrowly missed out in the round of 8 last week at Bristol. But he still managed to make it out on the track, doing what he does best, leading races. And with that said, Todd Gilliland did win stage 2. He led 66 laps and started 8th and finished 5th. He was a little disappointed, but enthused in a way, because he's not in the championship anymore and narrowly missed out. And that's one thing we're going to see in the Truck Series. We're going to see a lot of drivers that are competing for that are not competing for championships, running for these race wins during the playoffs. We saw it in Xfinity, but in the Truck Series, it's like take it to a whole different level at the competition being so tight. 6th place, Stuart Friesen led 1 lap, started 3rd. The Canadian brings it home in 6th. Friesen's really getting back to his 2019 ways, as it seems. He's finally doing well this year, getting used to the new format of these Truck Series races, as Justin has been disconnected for some reason. So we'll add him back and whenever he shows up again. 7th place, Grant Enfinger driving for Cody Rohrbaugh's team, not the 98 of Thorsport that was won by Christian Eckes. 8th place went to Austin Wayne Self, a great run by the driver for his family team. 9th place was Ryan Truex for Nice Motorsports, and rounding out the top 10, Austin Hill led 12 laps and finished 10th. We do apologize for technical difficulties because we can't have nice things. 11th place, Brett Holmes. You'll call the Brett Holmes up. Justin's back. All right, there we go.
Yeah, my computer's wanted to kick me out from Streamer. I guess my computer didn't want me to be on. I don't know.
Your computer doesn't like what happened on Fridays in the truck race, I guess.
Okay, computer. Okay, hopefully computer decides to not do that again, hopefully, but it's technology. Technology's not the best sometimes.
All right, I was about to talk about Brett Holmes getting a career best finish of 11th. He started 35th, led 1 lap, had a great showing. Last year's ARCA champion, really getting it done now in his own equipment. Nice to see. Tate Fogelman finished 14th after leading a lap, starting 33rd. And how about CJ McLaughlin? His first ever top 20 in the Truck Series, a career best effort after starting in 30th. Carson Hosfar, mentioned, he had 8 laps, started 5th, finished 22nd, and what was a bit of a controversial run. He was penalized for allegedly bringing out the caution with intention with the closing laps, but it's not a favorable move, but 22nd place it is. Brett Moffitt, Hosfar's former teammate, led 1 lap in his one-off start with Rackley WAR, started 22nd, finished 25th. Could have done better, but wasn't one of those races for him. Zane Smith, not the race he expected as a playoff driver. Started 4th, was involved in an incident, finished 29th. John Nemechek spent some time in the garage, but in the end, finished 33rd. He led 33 laps, won stage 1, started first. Now he's in a bit of a hole. It's close. This was the worst case scenario for John Hunter Nemechek, as was his teammate Chandler Smith, who started 2nd, was involved in a horrifying accident where his truck got T-boned by Sheldon Creed, Sheldon Creed finished 36 out of the race. Both drivers were. And luckily that we can say that they walked away from that accident. It's just a true testament to the safety of these machines. So they'll be back at Talladega, and it's very close. We have 3 races to go, 2 races left to determine the championship 4, and at 2 completely different tracks. 3 completely different tracks to this round. Of course, we had our 1.5-mile speedway at Las Vegas. We go to our super speedway, 2.6 miles at Talladega. We go to Paperclip, short track, half-mile of Martinsville Speedway to close this round. No one's locked in. It's so close. Let's explain. Ben Rhodes is the championship leader. 34 above the cut line. That's not far at all from the cut line, mind you.
No.
7-0 points. John Nemechek is 2nd with 28 points above the cut line, 3.064. 3rd place, Stuart Friesen, plus 9 above the cut line. It's very narrow from here, even with the guys above that we mentioned. And the Matt Crafton plus 5, very narrow once again. Underneath the cut line, last year's champion, Sheldon Creed, minus 5. Then Carson Hosfar, minus 16. Zane Smith, minus 19. Chandler Smith, minus 24. It's so close. And Talladega's coming up. And this is the most competitive series. We have not had a playoff-eligible driver in the history of the format with the championship playoffs in the Truck Series. It's, its 6th year now, because it started in 2016. Every Talladega race that has been ran was never won by someone who was competing for a championship in that year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, I don't know what to expect. And neither should the drivers until that checkered flag waves. There's just a bunch of questions in the air. Maybe smoke of cars and debris, but until then it's just question marks. All right, let's trade in the stick shift for the paddles. Talk some open wheel, shall we?
Yeah.
A very interesting season or weekend and season in open wheel racing. We'll start off with Mother Russia. Wow. Lewis Hamilton.
Kerwin number 100. Yep, Kerwin number 100 happened.
We saw
Yeah. Yeah, we did
I'm gonna
see.
say that this is just history. You don't have to like the guy, but you gotta appreciate his efforts in behind the wheel of a Formula One car. Because Lewis Hamilton, and not to mention, this was such a Lewis Hamilton kind of race where he didn't quit. He was not supposed to win this race.
Nope. Yeah, he was second towards the
Uh,
end.
Started fourth, didn't have the best start. He kind of got himself scrambled when the lights went out. Just wasn't his Russian Grand Prix. Yet Mercedes, I guess this just proved why Mercedes is 8 for 8 perfect at Sochi. But
Yeah.
if there's anything I would say about people that keep denying Lewis Hamilton, oh, this isn't Lewis Hamilton's year. Take a look at this race. Now you'll see why he's still in it to get his 8th World Drivers' Championship. It is not off the table at all.
Yeah.
Mercedes came prepared. Everybody knew to watch out for them. McLaren did what they could. Red Bull did what they could. Even Alpine tried to do what they could. But it was Hamilton at the end. I think the sudden downpour was probably a gift, a Mother Nature gift for Lewis Hamilton. Because if it weren't for that downpour, it would have been Lando Norris on the top step of the podium. I mean, it's a gutting one. You don't have to be a Lando Norris fan to feel gutted for him. But let's talk about the order real quick. So Hamilton led just the final 3 laps. Started fourth. It's his 100th career win. And how many times is he on the podium now? 176 times.
I just
Max
realized.
Verstappen. Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
Wait, he has 176 podiums?
Yeah.
So 100 of those 176 are wins. I just realized with 100 wins, 176 podiums. So 100 of them are wins out of his 176 podiums. That's just impressive.
That's insane. Let's continue on. Max Verstappen found a way to get second. He had to take an engine penalty. Started the grid, rear of the grid at 20th.
Yeah.
Found his way up to second somehow. I don't know how he did it, but Max Verstappen is showing his true colors that he could possibly bring home that World Drivers' Championship to the Netherlands. I think it's a close one now. I think the real lesson and the moral of the story for this year's World Championship is that it is never over until the checkered flag waves. What the majority of the race looks like can never match what the true outcome is until the true outcome has been achieved. Third place, Carlos Sainz Jr., another great run for Ferrari. He led the opening 12 laps, started second on the grid, but a poor pit stop and a recovery resulted to a third-place finish, which was his 5th career podium. Verstappen got his 53rd career podium as well. 4th place, Daniel Ricciardo stayed quiet but strong and got himself some very good championship points in the making. 5th place, Valtteri Bottas was up and down, and suddenly back up by the end of this Grand Prix. A lot of people were cheering for him, but he did take a grid penalty. And it's pretty unfortunate because a lot of fans wanted to see Bottas get just that one more win.
Yeah, but also Valtteri did start in the back too. They changed engines on that car. Tactically, Red Bull was confused why they did that, but Valtteri, he changed engines. He moved up decently in the field, but then he was not that fast middle part of the race, but the rain kind of helped him too. But still, got points for Mercedes, which Valtteri getting points helps Mercedes with constructors right now, which that's what Mercedes to get constructors, they just need Lewis and Valtteri to get points. Basically. But at least Valtteri got points. Decent run for the Mercedes driver from starting in the back too.
Oh, for sure. You know, one thing about Valtteri Bottas, he's never a quitter. He can really stay in the fight. He's a good team player. Valtteri Bottas I think Alfa Romeo should all be excited for him. It's just gonna work in everyone's favor. I mean, of course, don't expect wins, but expect more points.
Yeah.
Double points for Mercedes. 6th place, Fernando Alonso had a stellar car. Stayed in it. Gosh, it seems like every year or every race this year that we see flashes of 2005, 2006 Alonso.
Yeah.
Alonso of 10 years ago.
Yeah, and Alonso, he's 40 years old doing this. Age 40, he's doing this in this car, which is decent. It's better than when he was driving a few years ago with the McLaren Honda, that atrocious garbage that it had on the track. But other than talking bad about that car, that nobody liked the black livery on that. I don't know why. But other than that, Alonso, he was fast in that Alpine.
I thought for a minute he could have taken. If the start changed differently, he could have ended up maybe in the top 2.
Yeah, he was.
The lights came out.
Yeah, but he made that mistake in the second corner. Made that mistake. He went off where Sainz hit the wall last year, but still solid run for him.
Yeah. All right. Lando Norris. Let's talk about Lando for a minute. He had the race put together. Got his first career pole. Did a brilliant job on Saturday. Something he was longing for a long time is getting that pole.
Yep.
Led 30 laps. Got the fastest lap. 4 laps to go. He stays out. It's downpouring.
Oh, yeah.
McLaren made the wrong call. Lando made the wrong call if he had any part in it, but whatever happened, it just sucks. His McLaren edged on the outer garments of that tire barrier.
Yeah, because remember during that downpour, Justin, me and you were on Skype, remember?
Yes, we were.
On Sunday. Remember how when Lewis put the wets, remember how much Lando on the slicks, remember the gap was going down so fast?
It was drastic.
Yeah, and you saw how wet it got. Like, holy cow. Well, like, we expected this around the first pit stop. The rain came way later.
Everybody thought that the rain was out of touch. Until it wasn't.
Holy.
I get the race back.
Nope, and then he slid, and then he had to pit. And Lewis
finished 7th.
Yeah, Lewis had a 50-second, almost a minute lead. No, 60. Yeah, a minute lead, 60-second lead. He had 50-some seconds over Max, but it really sucked for Lando. He was so close, but he's going to try to rebound at Turkey, which is the next event. But solid run, gone, just wrong strategy.
Driver of the day, I think, for
cars. Yep.
No question. 8th place, Kimi Räikkönen. How about Kimi in his last race at Sochi? Brings his Alfa Romeo into a points finish. That's amazing.
Yep. 9th
place, Sergio Perez. Red Bull gets double points. He led 8 laps, started in 8th.
He fell a bit down. Like, also remember the rain. When that rain came, and also remember Sergio's not the best in the rain. We saw last year with Racing Point teammates. Like, remember last year, Lance was better than Perez in rain races. Like, Perez is decent in the rain, but not compared to other drivers. Like, Max is good in the rain. Lewis is good in the rain. There's some drivers that are just good in the rain. Like, Lance Stroll's an example. He's really good when it's wet. You see Lance Stroll doing fast laps. Like, example, remember the last year's race at Turkey?
Yeah.
Lance started on pole. Like, so basically.
And he's going to that track next week. I mean, listen, Aston Martin, they got it. Change things around. I mean, George Russell outpowered them himself. 12.
Yep.
I mean.
George Russell.
They collide, all right? The two guys. You know, this is okay. I thought for a minute, okay, why are we taking the 007 feature that they did on Sky Sports?
Yeah.
With the James Bond cars into the race.
Yeah. But yeah, George Russell, he got another point for Williams, giving them 23 points better. Like Williams, I like that they're getting points. Like
He's going to leave them on a really high note.
Yep, heading in, and next year Albon Latifi. Albon, we'll see if he can get points. Hopefully Williams have a better, decent car. The Haas car, we know that they didn't get points, but 11th and 12th was the team Stroll and Vettel. Not the best race for after they collided.
No, I think the two French drivers, Pierre Gasly for AlphaTauri and Esteban Ocon for Alpine Renault, 13th, 14th. We see better races from them. Charles Leclerc, strategy, 19th, he finished 15th. 19th, finished 15th. Antonio Giovinazzi was a field filler for this one.
Yeah.
Yuki Tsunoda just didn't have the best car.
No.
Nikita Mazepin in his home race finished in 18th place.
Woo!
Nicholas Latifi was classified as finishing for 90% of the distance, but his damaged car was enough to take him out in lap 47.
And last place, Mick Schumacher, with hydraulic issues on the 32nd lap. But I know people hate Mazepin, but Mazepin at least finished. I always like to see the driver at their home race finish. At least he finished. Yeah, so, but people thought with the trend of, of Lewis winning at home, Max winning at home, a semi, Ricardo's like part Italian winning. Yeah,
it was possible for Mazepin.
No, the Haas car was not going to
I know it's a joke, but still.
Yeah, but that Haas car was atrociously slow.
All right.
But still good. It was a decent race.
Great race. I think it was entertaining. Another race that could have been race of the year.
Yeah, like this race was better than past races that Sochi had been like.
Oh, for sure.
But like at one point, even before the wet, Lewis was sometimes catching Lando. But the rain then, we saw it was starting to rain, but then the downpour and Lewis deciding to pit. It was interesting, but the points are close for the lead.
Siberia does not care about your position in the World Championship. Let's discuss the World Drivers' Championship now. It's a 2-point difference. Hamilton regains the championship lead. 2 World Championship points over Max Verstappen. 246.5, 244.5. It's so close.
Yep.
Third place, back in third, is Valtteri Bottas. 151 points. Fourth place, Lando Norris gains a little bit. 90 points above his closest competitor, 139 for Norris. 120 points for Sergio Perez. It could have been more.
Yep.
Carlos Sainz Jr., 112.5 points. Seventh place, Charles Leclerc. No points for him on Sunday, so he stays at 104. Danny Ricciardo jumps up in the standings to 8th. It gets a little closer to Charles Leclerc, 95 points. Pierre Gasly at 66 points. And Fernando Alonso is getting closer to Gasly at 58 points.
Yep.
Now in the World Constructors Championships, Mercedes did seem to pull away a little bit.
More
with the double points with the first and fifth compared to second and ninth.
Yeah.
No fast lap for either of the 4 drivers between those two teams. 397.5 points for Mercedes, while Red Bull Racing Honda have 364.5 points. Third place is McLaren Mercedes with 234 points. They pulled away very well over Ferrari, who had 1 points finisher, but got third, so it's 216.5. Alpine Renault, last on the triple digits at 103. And fifth, AlphaTauri, 4 points. Aston Martin Racing Mercedes with 59 points. Williams Mercedes with 23 points. Alfa Romeo Racing jumped to 7 points, still in single digits. At big fat 0.
It takes a lot for Haas to get. Remember, I don't think that Gunther Steiner has an actual Twitter. I don't think, but there's a Twitter account on Twitter called @BenderSteiner. Do you want to know what he talked about? People are like, why is it news for Max Verstappen starting the back? Do you know what he said? He said, we always start in the back, so it's not big news. He's basically saying that they always start in the back, which is a Haas car that's atrocious this year. But it was interesting to see the Russian Grand Prix not be the boringest race. Yeah, the next. So F1
Turkey.
does. Yep, F1 has. Yep, this weekend. Yep, this week they're off. They race on October 10th at Istanbul for the Turkish Grand Prix. That was a decent race last year. Well, remember that new surface last year? Remember it was so slippery? That could be still a factor this year. We'll see. But this race is now it's not like last year. That race was November last year.
Very
This
cold.
Yeah, this year it's in October. It's earlier, but we'll see. So yeah, next race, Turkey. Lewis is going to try to get more points there because Lewis won last year. He's good at Turkey. He's going to try to gain
And remember,
points.
it was their first race there since 2011.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's still fairly new for a lot of the drivers.
Yeah, like
and for some of the teams especially.
Yeah, and people forget this race is actually replacing Singapore. It was supposed to be this weekend, like when Singapore was supposed to be. Then they decided to push it a week back on the 10th. So this race is replacing the Singapore Grand Prix, which was canceled due to COVID-19, if people didn't remember. So yeah, but we had another open wheel championship decider for the final race of the season.
We're gonna talk about Formula 2 and then Formula 3.
Okay. Formula 2.
Yeah, let's talk about Formula 2 real quick. This is week 6 of 8. We had a lot of bad weather that resulted in the second sprint race being canceled. So the first sprint race and the only one was won by Dan Ticktum. And Yuri Vips finished second. Robert Schwartzman rounded out the podium in his home race. Fourth place, we had Jake Hughes making a great run. Theo Pourchaire got the fastest lap. 6th place was Ralph Bourgeon. 7th place, Christian Lundgaard, the Dane. And 8th place, Richard Verschoor, the Dutchman.
Yep.
Feature race, we had Oscar Piastri. Not only we got pole position points, but he took the win. A very dominating one. Theo Pourchaire second, and Jan de Ruvela rounded up the podium. Robert Schwartzman fell shy of the podium. But getting closer to that second place position in the championship. And he's got 2 months to think about it. Dan Ticktum in 5th. Guanyu Zhou 6th. Liam Lawson 7th on the fastest lap. Richard Verschoor in 8th. Christian Lundgaard 9th. And the final point to David Beckman.
Yeah.
So the championship standings after this race weekend. Oscar Piastri sits on top of the board right now. This Australian prodigy has 178 points over his rival China's Guanyu Zhou, 142 points. Russia's Robert Schwartzman in 3rd with 135 points. Great Britain's Dan Ticktum with 129 points. And France's Theo Pourchaire in 5th with 120 points.
Yep.
In the team's championship.
Yep. Prema
Power Team with 313 championship points. They are really almost putting 100 over Carlin Racing with 225 points. Unai Virtuosi Racing with 201 points. 4th place, we have High Tech Grand Prix, 182 points. And 5th place, Art Grand Prix with 163.
Yeah.
So the next race will be at the Jeddah Street Circuit on the 4th and 5th of December, week 7 and 8. They will see the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix weekend. So
which also
got 2 months to think about it.
Yeah, and also I wanted to say about a person that I want to that I was impressed by was in sprint race 1 by Jake Hughes. He finished 4th in the HWA Race Lab. Do you want to know what's impressive about that team, HWA? They're currently last in the teams, but 1 point was from Matteo Nannini, scored a point early on in the season. Jake Hughes has the rest of the points. And yes, Jake Hughes is better than his teammate, Alessio Deletto, who's not doing anything in that car, only being like 4 seconds off anybody in the field, which is a bit sad in an F2 car, which all of them are similar. But other than that, embarrassing statistic. But solid run that Jake Hughes had on to get many points for HWA. Prema pulling away like they normally do in F2 recently with Mick Schumacher and Schwartzman last year. Now Piastri really, people used to say, oh, a rookie in F2 doesn't do usually good in their first season. Oscar Piastri leading the points so Piastri's looking really strong, so he has a good shot at this championship.
I mean, there's a lot of unknowns, but we don't even know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
No one's really turned a lap around there yet. And, of course, Abu Dhabi's got a chase layout.
Yep.
So that's all we're left with. 2 months to think about it.
Yep.
Now let's discuss the final championship results of the 2021 FIA Formula 3 championship. I know there's many Formula 3 championships around the globe, but this was the one that accompanied the Grand Prix weekend that gets a lot of attention. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship standings. The final championship was won by 18-year-old Norwegian sensation Dennis Hauger for Prema Racing. Jack Doohan, the Australian driver under a Red Bull contract, second. Clement Novalek in third. Frederick Vestier fourth. Victor Martinson fifth. Alexander Smolyar sixth. Logan Sargent from Boca Raton, Florida, seventh. Nice to see that he finally found a way to get to victory. It was a shaky year. I hope he gets signed again or even put in Formula 2 next year. Ollie Caldwell in eighth. Caio Colette and Arthur Leclerc rounded out the top 10 in the final championship standings. We got a total of 35 drivers that made up the championship. Here's a great stat. 22 drivers of those 35 drivers, there were more drivers that got points than the ones that didn't. So that's a great sign of the future in open wheel racing. Now let's move on to the final teams championship standings. While the driver got a championship for Prema Racing, it was not a team championship. It was close. Very close.
Yep, but it really helped for Trident to get 1 and 3 during the final race of the weekend. So that's Jack Doohan winning really helped Trident to be the team champion. So because with F2, F3, you don't know. It's not by driver to have the number 1. It's actually the team. So basically, if you finish up team championship-wise, Trident's going to have the number 1, 2, and 3 because in F3, if you don't know, there's 3 entries, 30 cars by 10 teams. So basically, the first set, 1, 2, 3, they all skip number 13. So Trident's going to have the number 1 next year. But Trident. It was a close battle between Trident and Prema for the team's championship. But Trident just got it. But Prema was so close. They were second.
377 points. Third place, Art Grand Prix, 256 points. MP Motorsports, fourth with 224 points. Charoux Racing System in fifth with 127 points. High Tech Grand Prix in sixth with 126 points. HWA Race Lab in seventh with 44 points. Eighth place, Campos Racing with 32 points. Ninth place, Yenser Motorsports with 29 points. And 10th place, Carlin Buzz Racing with 25 points. So, a few things to note at the end of this FIA Formula 3 championship event. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Macau Grand Prix will not be participated by the main drivers as usual for the second year in a row. So I think it's going to be with China F4. Hosting
it's F4 again.
That's number 1. And number 2, every FIA Formula 3 race in next year's championship that will accompany the Grand Prix weekends will be with the FIA Formula 2 championship and every weekend there. So
but it was interesting, the F3 season, and there's a few drivers that were decent in their cars, like a decent amount of the Genzer, the Genzer team, that team. Most of the points of them just came in the recent race. Jonathan Hauger got 6th place. And Jonathan Hauger actually scored more points at the team. And he's part-time. Like, some of these drivers were part-time and doing better than some full-time drivers, but Victor Martins, he did good in his rookie season for MP, getting a win. He almost won at home, but, there's a few drivers that really did good. Logan Sargent for Charoux, which they had the worst number set, the 29, 30, 31, and Logan Sargent did
really well.
Yeah, he was the highest driver with points there. He had a teammate, Ayrton Simmons, for this weekend, Zdenek Chovanec, the last few races. But it was a good F3 season. Really competitive. I feel like next year's going to be competitive. F3, yep, good season for Dennis Hauger. He just kept putting points on everyone, like, since the start of the season.
Yep. All right, well, that's in the books. Let's move on to another closing race in single-seater racing. And that, of course, we're going to talk about the Long Beach Grand Prix, and then we'll discuss the end of the season because the closing race was this past weekend for IndyCar. And, wow, another brilliant showing for Colton Herta, who wasn't supposed to have the best car. He started 14th, had a poor qualifying run, started mid-pack. You do that at Long Beach, you're in for a long, rough race if you even make it through the first lap, that is. And he still found a way to lead the most laps and win. 6 career win for Colton Herta. This is 9th podium. All but 3 of his podiums are wins. And he got the most laps led. A great outing for him. Let's talk about Joseph Newgarden. Had to fight hard to stay in the championship and get his 3rd title, but it wasn't meant to be. He got his 15th career pole and his 45th career podium. Newgarden did lead 18 laps, though. Just wasn't enough. Scott Dixon led 1 lap, got his 127th career podium. 4th place, Alex Palou. Great way to end up a championship season, ain't that right? He had an absolutely perfect weekend. Handled it calm and smart, and that's why he's a champion.
Yep.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just go through the race results. Simon Pagenaud, we know it's his last race with Team Penske, where it got an Indy 500 win and a championship within the last 5 years for that team. He will move on, join another very successful former Penske driver in that as well. Alexander Rossi, the 2-time defending winner before Colton Herta, started in the 15th spot and worked his way up to 6th. Jack Harvey in his final race with Meyershank Racing led 1 lap, started 25th, managed to get it to 7th. Sebastian Bourdais for AJ Foyt, the 3-time winner of this race, got to finish 8th. Takuma Sato, 9th. Former winner, did pretty well here, and so did Will Power, 2-time former winner, rounded at the top 10. Scott McLaughlin finished 11th. He gets the Rookie of the Year. Great run for the Kiwi. 12th place, Graham Rahal led 4 laps. Jimmy Johnson, 2nd time, a career best finish of 17th. Elliot Castroneves led 15 laps, started 3rd, but was scrambled into the 20th spot. Oliver Askew led 3 laps, started 28th, finished 27th. And Pato O'Ward, Fortune Patricio led no laps. He started 8th, got the fastest lap, was involved in a few collisions, and was out of the race in 27th. So let's talk about the championship now. Alex Palou for Chip Ganassi Racing and Honda win the 2021 IndyCar Series Championship, the first ever open wheel national championship in American open wheel IndyCar racing by a Spaniard in the history of this discipline. It's the 14th Drivers' Championship for Chip Ganassi Racing. And let's pull up some fun stats while we're at it. So let's take a look at Chip's team and his IndyCar championships. So this goes back 25 years ago. So in a span of 25 years, he got 14 championships. And in a span of 21 years, he got 4 Indianapolis 500s.
Wow.
Jimmy Vasser, 1996. 2 years after that, Alex Zanardi, back-to-back in 97 and 98. Juan Pablo Montoya in 1999. Scott Dixon, 2003, his very first year with the team in the IRL. 2008 in the first merged year, 2nd championship. Dario Franchitti went on a 3-peat with them in 2009, 2010, and 2011. Scott Dixon then won 2013, 2015, 2018, and 2020, and Alex Palou 2021. And you know what? You look at the stats and you see that this team, they're a dynasty. They're a dynasty of the last 25, 30 years. And they're going to be in the sport for a long time. Chip Ganassi Racing is so committed to IndyCar. Alex Palou. And we got to talk about Palou for a minute. Where did this kid come from? Why did he get to this point? I mean, after all, he was running GP3 5, 6 years ago.
Yep.
And he chose to take a career to Asia. Just wasn't.
Yeah. He drove. Yeah, he drove in 2019 for Team Go, or that team in 2019 in the Super Formula Series, which is basically the F2 version of Japan. Basically, he drove in that championship. Then he moves to race for Dale Coyne with Team Go's second entry, the 55, to partner Santino Ferrucci.
I think what caught the eye of Chip Ganassi was when he got a podium in just his third race in Road America.
Yeah.
I think that was not on the table
yet. Yeah, we did. Nobody expected that. For that equipment's not the best either, which was impressive. And then later on, it was known that he would join Chip Ganassi, replacing Felix Rosenqvist, who moved to Arrow McLaren. And people were like, he's probably going to get maybe a win or not be in contention for the championship.
Somewhat like what we expected Marcus Ericsson to do this year.
But his first season at Ganassi, he won on debut. He won his debut race for Ganassi at Barber. Nobody expected him, to win on debut for his new team, like his first start for his new team. I did not expect it either.
No one did. I thought he would maybe get maybe a top 5 or something, but it took a while. No, he was just on the spot right off the bat. And here's another driver that gives me reminders of Fernando Alonso. Yes, they're from the same country, but absolutely it just speaks volumes for who this driver really is. And I bet you he's already waiting for May next year. Now he got so close to that Indianapolis 500 win this year. Got beat by the best. Let's continue on. Let's look at the final championship standings. So Alex Palou gets the championship. First driver from Spain to do it. Second place, Joseph Newgarden falls shy of his second title. Third place, Patricio Award ties best driver's championship result for Dale Coyne race.
Dale Coyne.
See, I'm all my mind's thinking Alex Palou. Sam Schmidt's team with, of course, Aaron McLaren SP.
Yeah.
Their best team, or the best result by a team. So it's a tie for third. Good run by them. The whole team. Pat did a great job. Can't wait to see what happens next year. Yeah. Scott Dixon, fourth. No record-tying 7th championship. He'll have to wait to tie AJ's record. But don't tell me there's no hope for Dixon to do that. He also have to wait a whole offseason to tie Mario Andretti's record for second on the all-time wins list. Yeah. Colton Herta. If you say that he won't be in the championship battle next year, I'm going to have to go see a mental ward.
But
don't say what I said. But
the reason Colton was not in contention this season, he had races where had issues in the races, which put him out. Like when he had his accidents at a few races, which really didn't help him, But he has a good shot next year. Andretti Autosport. He's returning.
They're finally up to par again.
Yeah.
7th place. Or 6th place, Marcus Ericsson. I think he can only get better.
Yeah. He won 2 races.
The street circuits we have, we got another street circuit next year. We got more of them.
Oh, yeah, we do. So, well, hopefully, if he wins at Nashville again, hopefully he doesn't do it launching on the back of someone. Nobody expected, remember that Nashville
race?
We thought, suspension's are short, he should be out. He returned to the race and led towards the He got the lead when people pitted, and he stayed out. He stayed up front and won, which nobody expected for him to do that, but it was
7th
impressive.
place, Grant Rahal, another solid run for Rahal.
Yep.
Simon Pagenaud his final year with Team Penske. Will
Yep.
Power was not the best year yet. Expect to see some turnarounds. Alexander Rossi is finally getting back on track. Let's see. Yep. So pretty much that was your top 10 in the final championship standings.
Yep.
As for the Oval Champion, first time it was won by Tricia Ward. The Road Course Champion won for the first time by Alex Palou. Manufacturers Championship was won by Honda for the 10th time and 4th in a row over Chevrolet. And the Rookie of the Year, Scott McLaughlin, the 3-time V8 Supercars champion, who he then was driving for Dick Johnson Racing, which was associated with Team Penske at the time. Team Penske took a chance on him again, like he did in Supercars, to try the discipline of IndyCar racing, and a final points position of 14th and a best finish of 2nd at an oval of all places.
Yeah.
He can only get better from here.
Yeah.
Roman Grosjean didn't run all the races, but he did a brilliant job. He got 2 podiums, 2 second place finishes, 3 podiums in total.
Got a pole. Remember, got a pole.
Yeah, got a pole in that race at Indy.
Yeah.
He's going to Andretti Autosport next year.
Oh,
he's exactly the driver they are looking for.
Yeah, Grosjean's been doing solid for this team with Jilko, not the best in IndyCar team, but Andretti, they paid attention to Grosjean. Like, Grosjean was running part-time. Grosjean, the only oval race he ran was Gateway, and that was not even that bad. But do you want to know what's interesting? I just saw a stat which impressed me about Joseph Newgarden. Since 2016, when he ran for Ed Carpenter, his worst points finish was 2018 with 5th.
Wow.
So it went 4th in 2016. First year with Penske, you finished 1st. 2018, 5th. 2019, 1st. 2nd and 2nd the last 2 years. His worst points finish was 5th in the last few years. So, yeah, Joseph Newgarden has another shot to get his 3rd.
Adding to the list of F1 talents that has never been able to have that chance.
But, like, still, Joseph Newgarden, he's showing speed this season. I know Penske kind of struggled, but Joseph Newgarden tried everything to get that championship, but he still has a shot for next year, trying to get a win. Because, but it was an interesting IndyCar season.
And then 3rd was Jimmy Johnson in his first season in IndyCar.
Yeah.
I think it was expected for him to be below par or above par and just not. Yeah, I think he's got given some time. Yeah, he wants to be there. He's happy to learn.
Yeah, like his stock cars are different than it's his first time. It was his first time in an open wheel car this season. An open wheel car, it's different. It handles different than a heavy stock car. Like a NASCAR stock car, the reason they go slower than Indy cars, they're heavier. Like NASCAR stock cars, they are like
think about how a refrigerator would react on a road versus how a paper airplane. Don't listen.
No, but I'm just saying, like. Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson, I know we had moments, but when you drive going from a stock car to a open wheel car that's less heavy, it's different. It handles different. Like, you can lose when you drive open wheel cars, you have more chance to lose it on your own than a stock car. The stock cars are more heavier. Like, you see the stock cars, they're heavy to drive. Basically, like IndyCar, you can lightly turn the wheel. Like in IndyCar, like in IndyCar, you can turn the wheel and it turns. NASCAR, it's not always the same. You're there, I have my wheel in front of me, just if I was, you're cranking the wheel, trying to get it to turn, basically, but other than that, not that bad for Jimmy Johnson in his rookie season.
I think if they give him more opportunities at Ganassi, he'll do better. All right. Indianapolis 500 winner, Castroneves, his fourth. First on the all-time list, ties AJ Foyt, Rick Mears, and Al Unser. Meyer Shank Racing, their first Indianapolis 500 win, and the 14th for Honda. The month of May comes fast in the IndyCar world, so
which
it's like a hump. You get through that hump, and then it's to the rest of the championship.
Yeah, and Elio, he's gonna run full time with Meyer Shank.
That's what he's looking for. He's looking for that championship.
Yeah, he's gonna be alongside Simon, who Simon's now confirmed at Meyer Shank, which Simon Pagenaud, he has a shot to do good too. He's a former champ.
Oh yeah, and also, I thought he was going to go full time sports car racing. No, that's actually Sebastian Bourdais. So no Drive for 5 in 2022.
But Meyer Shank, they said that who is it? Oh my gosh, I know Elio possibly will run some IMSA races part time. Pagenaud is going to run for Meyer Shank's IMSA program part time in the.
I kind of know what their lineup might be. Whether it's one or two cars, I don't know.
Yeah, but Pagenaud might run. They can't run.
Castroneves was with the lineup of Wayne Taylor Racing.
Acura,
mind you, same manufacturer. So maybe the endorsements worked.
I just realized that they can't. There's not going to be any IndyCar drivers running at Sebring because that's the same day as Texas in March.
Next year. Oh yeah, they got some conflicts with.
But if people didn't know about IndyCar schedule, NBC 14 races out of 17, 2 races on USA, which is Detroit and
Gobble.
and Gateway and the thing that people get pissed of is Toronto being
Peacock.
Peacock Premium. Peacock is going to air the Toronto race. I'm just hoping this year Sportsnet has the same deal.
That's what they're doing right now with the cable.
Yeah, but I'm just hoping for Sportsnet to...
Bye.
But hey, Sportsnet did better this year. The only race they had not on their main network was Texas Race 1 on Sportsnet World. 2019, trying to watch IndyCar in Canada was more atrocious.
That was horrible. I remember.
I only could watch Indy 500 and Toronto. All the other races.
Does the Toronto race still have their own commentary booth? I know they used to do that back in the day.
I don't know because I really don't know.
They had like a rights contract or something where the local had their own commentary, but
with City TV. City TV is a network in Canada, but I don't know. That's going to be interesting for that weekend. But NBC does get 14 races for IndyCar. We know why. NBCSN is bye-bye after 2021. If people didn't remember, they're gone after. So they have USA.
Perfect for a fitting Olympic year where we have to watch all the hockey games on Peacock.
Oh yeah.
They already threw some of the best basketball games of the Olympics on Peacock. So.
Oh jeez,
this is like a monopoly. NBC Universal's putting a monopoly on us.
Well, Canada, it's not that bad. It's TSN, CBC, and Sportsnet.
CBC is Sportsnet, so
and TSN has games too. TSN's contracted also, so 2 rival networks, which is bad. Like Bell
Roger versus Bell.
Yeah, but wow, the Toronto is trying, but. They're tied 1-1 against the Yankees. I'm shocked that they're actually not losing.
I hope they beat the Yankees.
But other than that, Alex Palou. Solid. Good season. He has a good chance to do something good next year in 2022. Which that their season starts at the end of February. That's an early start.
Tail end of the month.
Yeah, at the end of the month at St. Petersburg is again the opener, which
can't wait to see that.
Yep.
Should be a dandy. All right, let's move into the other Grand Prix of Long Beach. I'll have to pull up the stuff for that because we got a lot to break down in IMSA for their WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. But in the end, the penultimate sprint race of the year went to the team that deserved it best. Action Express Racing in the Whelen Engineering Cadillac Car 31. Felipe Nasr and Louis Philippe Pipo Durrani taking the win, and stellar from pole to the win. They were untouchable at the start. And it looked pretty physical at the start with the other Cadillacs, such as Kevin Magnussen when he started for Chip Ganassi Racing's Cadillac, Car 1. But it did, it pointed out to me that these races are fast. In the sprint races, you have to get everything right with the driver changes. You better beat the drive time.
Yeah.
You got to stay with the pack.
Yeah.
Or you're going to lose big in the championship. As for the guys in the Premier class, there's only one more race to go. As for the guys in the GTLM class and the GTD class, there's 2 races to go. But for GTD, it's a little bit more stressful on them. Let's check out the provisional results. Breaking it down class by class. So winning this race, completing 78 laps, was, as I mentioned, Pipo Derani and Felipe Nasr. Second place was Car 01, the Chip Ganassi Racing Cadillac DPI. Cadillac swept the podium. Renger van der Zand and Kevin Magnussen. Third place was car number 5, the JDC Miller Motorsports Cadillac of Tristan Vautier and Loic Duval, the 2 French drivers, bringing it in third. Fourth place was the 10 Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac of Minolta Acura ARX 05, driven by Philippe Albuquerque and Ricky Taylor. Definitely a little bit of a shakeup of the points. We'll get into that in a minute. In 5th place in the class was the 55 Multimatic Mazda Motorsports Mazda DPI of Ollie Jarvis and Harry Tincknell, the 2 British drivers. Finishing 6th overall, winning the GTLM class, was the number 4 Corvette Racing Chevrolet Corvette C8R, completing 75 laps with drivers Tommy Milner and Nick Tandy. Finishing 2nd in class was the sister car 3 Corvette Racing Chevrolet Corvette C8R, Antonio Garcia and Jordan Taylor. And finishing in 3rd place was the number 79 Proton Competition WeatherTech Racing Porsche 911 RSR19 of Cooper McNeil and Matthew Jaminet, finishing 8th overall and 3rd in class of a 3-car class. Then the rest of the field were all GT3s in the GT Daytona class. Mind you, this is the second to last race in their Sprint Cup Championship. The sprint races have their championship of their own. And it's getting close to the end. Let's talk about them for a minute. The GTD class was won by the 9th place finisher overall, number 1, Paul Miller Racing, Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo, completing 73 laps with Brian Sellers and Madison Snow. 2nd place, Justin, I know it's your team. It's number 9, FAF Motorsports Porsche 911 GT3R, Zachary Robicon and Lawrence Vantor.
Yep.
3rd place was the sister Porsche, getting the hometown driver on the class podium, Patrick Long and Trent Hinman, number 16 Wright Motorsports Porsche 911 GT3R. 4th place in class was the number 14 Vassar Sullivan Lexus RCF GT3 with Aaron Tielitz and Jack Hawksworth. And 5th place in class was the number 39 Car Bomb with Pegreen Racing Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo with Jeff Westfall and Richard Highstand.
Yeah, solid run for that 39 team, which they used to only run the Michelin Pilot Challenge races, that series, but solid run for that team.
Right. Okay, now let's break it down to the championships. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. So we're gonna talk about the full 12 race championship first.
Yeah.
We'll break it down for teams and for the manufacturers. We're not going to talk about LMP2s and LMP3s until the week prior to the Petit Le Mans.
Yeah.
Where that's going to be decided because they haven't raced since Road America and for LMP3s and for LMP2s, WeatherTech Raceway.
I almost said Long Beach. I'm like, no, they were not there.
You're right. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
All right. So in the championship lead, paid to close attention here is the number 10 Wayne Taylor Racing Acura with 3071 points.
Yeah.
Now, second place with 3052 points is number 31 Engineering Racing Cadillac that won this past weekend. They have one race left, of course. Third place is number 55 Mazda Multimatic Motorsports, 2882 points.
Yeah.
Fourth place, the 01 Chip Ganassi Racing Cadillac with 2,879 points. And fifth place in the class is Meyer Shank Racing with Curb Akajani and Acura ARX05 with 2,668 points.
Okay, so they're still ahead of the number 5.
Right. They have 2,663, though. It's still close
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and 7th is only a part-time, which is the 48.
Action Express Racing's Alley Cadillac.
Yeah.
They are competing for the Endurance Cup, though.
So they'll be running Petit Le Mans.
All right. Now, the Manufacturers Championship for the DPI class is close, but pretty far. I'd say Cadillac is in good hands with this, with 3,311 points. Acura is second with 3,223 points, and third place is Mazda, 3,039 points. We know Mazda is not factory supporting these teams anymore next year, and Multimatic, which they're a high-built team, they announced their plans to be a chassis builder for Team Penske and Porsche for LMDH in 2 years. So I guess that process is already about to begin. All right, so let's talk about the GTLM Championship because they have 2 races to go. It is car number 3, Corvette Racing, Chevrolet Corvette C8R. They have a really big championship lead right now with 2,917 points. Second place is number 4, Corvette Racing, Chevrolet Corvette C8R with 2,757 points. I think they could clinch the next race, possibly. They could clinch the title one race early, car number 3. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Third place is the Proton Competition number 79, WeatherTech Racing Porsche 911 RSR19 with 2,644 points. Fourth place in class is number 24, BMW Team RLL with 1,001 points. Fifth place in class is the number 25 BMW Team RLL with 966 points. And sixth place in class is car number 62, Risi Competizione Ferrari 488 GTE Evo with 308 points. Only the top 3 have been competing for the full season. Now, for the championship class, or for manufacturers in this GTLM class, it is still the Chevrolet leading with 3,000 points flat. They might as well clinch it in the next race, mathematically, without a question. While Porsche has 2,812 on the points board, BMW in third with 1,052 points, and Ferrari is fourth with 330 points, as BMW and Ferrari did not run the full season. Now let's talk about the GT Daytona class championship for the teams, because a lot have changed in the overall championship with the problems that Turner Motorsports experienced in this event. Leading this team's championship in GT Daytona is the number 9 FAF Motorsports Porsche 911 GT3R with 2,570 on the points. Second place is number 1 Paul Miller Racing Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo with 2,538 points. Then keeping on this team, number 23 Heart of Racing team Aston Martin Vantage AMR GT3. Number 23, they have 2,466 points. Now, Turner Motorsport, BMW 96 Turner Motorsport BMW M6 GT3, they dropped to 4th. They have 2,420 on the points board. We're going to also discuss them in the Sprint Cup Championship. And 5th place is the Wright Motorsports Porsche with 2,363 points. All right. Now, the Manufacturers Championship for the full season in GT Daytona is currently led by Porsche with 2,704. Thanks a lot, I guess, to the hard point teams, the Wright Motorsports and definitely the FAF Motorsports team. 2,704 points, but it's far from over. Still got 2 races to go. Lamborghini sitting second with 2,655 points. Aston Martin in third with 2,574 points. BMW in fourth with 2,559 points. Fifth place, Lexus with 2,467. Sixth place, Acura with 2,207. Audi is seventh with 1,935 on the points board. Mercedes-AMG sit in eighth with 1,722, and Ferrari sit at ninth with 526 points. So, speaking of GT Daytona, they have the WeatherTech Sprint Cup Championship. For the sprint races, the penultimate race was complete. There's one more race to go. And what does that look like? So, with one race to go, because VIR is only featuring the GT classes.
Yep.
On October 9th, which is the next race, round 11 of 12, the final sprint race of the year.
Yep.
It will feature the GTD class, which is the only class that has this championship. But it's the 23 Heart of Racing team, Aston Martin Vantage AMR GT3 with 2,244 points.
Yeah.
Second place is Paul Miller Racing number 1, Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo with 2,170 points. They're going to have a lot of work to do. They really just hope that something drastically bad happens to, car 23 at the start. Third place is number 14, Vassar Sullivan Lexus RCF GT3, car 14, 2,075 points. Fourth place is the number 96 car, Turner Motorsport BMW M6 GT3 with 1,978 on the points board. And fifth place is the number 12, Vassar Sullivan Lexus RCF GT3 with 1,924 points. I think it's really going to come down. My opinion is probably going to come down just to the top 3. I mean, after all, you earn hundreds of points. The increments change. Still have a hard time saying how it works.
Yeah. But do you know what I was looking at? Just curious about stuff in IMSA.
Yeah.
That USA and Peacock and NBC. So yeah, instead of being on Track Pass, it moves to Peacock again. Yeah, money again by NBC, but the only thing they confirmed about the TV schedule, the start and the end will be on NBC for the Rolex 24. The Motel Pole Award 100 is held the week before on the Sunday. Before, remember that Pole Award thing they had? They have that again. Yeah, they have the 100-minute race on January 23rd. They have that again. Yeah, but TV schedule should be released end November, December. Obviously, they're going to release it before the Rolex 24 because you need to let your viewers know what network to go on. And if fans don't have Peacock, well, go look for Twitch streams because Twitch streamers are nice with IMSA.
Yes, they're very generous.
Yeah, not like WEC where if you try to find a stream for anything FIA, take it down. Nope, take it down right away. But other than that,
gone everything. We've seen that before.
Yeah, but it was.
Yeah. Remember the Le Mans stream? There was this one that had the title called "Walking with My Grandma."
Yeah, just to not get the stream taken down.
That stream got taken down after like 4.5 hours. That's pretty.
Yeah, but just I guess that no teams is cut. There's some teams confirmed for IMSA, but no drivers obviously.
I think it comes down to the other sports car series, the manufacturers. Teams. Because remember, sports car racing is a global thing. Because we have something else. Let's talk about what happened here. I know I got to pull up the Dropbox. What do you call it? The entry list. NLS 8. Because this was the 4 hours of Nürburgring round 8 of 9, and they have one race to go.
Yeah.
Google wants to do anything, which it's not. So I'll just pull it up right here. But I like how the internet waits for me to do what I need to do to fuck up. Excuse my French. That's not the French I should be speaking.
Yeah, the internet, I don't know. The internet sometimes is weird.
Yeah, the internet's nice enough to let us talk, but it's not nice enough to let me. Okay, there you go. All right, NLS 8 entry list. Okay, 25 September 2021, whatever that means. It must mean September 25th.
Yeah, it does.
All right, I have the classification, but I just need to know who the drivers are. So, yeah, because Wikipedia is behind. All right, there we go. So, Aston Martin Racing propeller car. They give their pro drivers the keys to the car, and the race happens. And 29 laps go by in 4 hours, and they win. Mickey Tim and Maxie Martin take the win. Am I surprised by this? I don't think I am. I mean, I thought, hey, maybe the BMW Junior team could get to them, but no. I guess Experience won in the end of car 21. It was a factory-built team with 2 pro drivers. They making this an easy win. How many cars finished overall on the lead lap? 29 laps. I'm on time 71. Okay. How many cars finished on the lead out there? 11 cars finished on the lead lap.
Huh.
Very impressive compared to the last race. And how many cars started this race overall? 115 cars.
Wow.
As per usual at the Nürburgring. So, yeah, they held off the number 5 Phoenix Racing Audi R8 LMS GT3 by 13 seconds. That car was driven by Vincent Kolb and Frank Stippler. Stippler, a longtime factory driver for Audi. Third place was the number 44 BMW Junior Team BMW M6 GT3 with Max Hesse, Daniel Harper, and Neil Verhagen, the BMW Junior drivers. Fourth place overall was car number 23, the Car Collection Motorsport Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo. Car 24 or 23 was driven by Patrick Kolb, Nico Mueller, and Patrick Niederhauser. And then fifth place overall, give a call to BMW for putting this car together. BMW Motorsports from the factory itself. With factory drivers Augusto Farfus and Philip Eng bring the BMW M4 GT3 to P5 overall. Now, they're not in the same class yet, the SP9 Pro, because obviously they don't meet specifications just yet that haven't been included in the FIA Group GT3 just yet. But since they're allowed to race, we got to see how they related to everybody else out there on the track. It was a good showing, to say the least. So next race they have is the 9th and final race of the NLS Nürburgring Langstrasse Series. If I said that right. The 4 hours Rennen Nürburgring, round 9 of 9 on the 9th of October. One more race to go. And I think it's always an entertaining series, but when they show up, because you never know who impresses. But that was a good one. Now we got a lot of other races. We have to talk about some other championships, divisions that just got done. Let's get started with what happened north of the border. And wow, that was something else, Justin.
Yep. We had 3 races at Delaware Speedway to close out the season. We had a race on Friday night and 2 races on Sunday to decide the finale race, the final weekend, and the champion for the 2021 Penny Series. Race 1 was interesting with DJ Kennington. He pulled a move on rookie Train Lapsevich in the final corner to get the win, which Train Lapsevich was not too happy.
And neither was Caden on social media.
No, but other than that, DJ Kennington, he won. He
wanted that 3rd title. He had to do whatever it takes to get there.
Yep, a really solid race for DJ.
Train Lapsevich finished 2nd. Andrew Ranger 3rd. He was looking to get that title as well.
Yep.
4th place, Kevin Lacroix, and 5th place, Cole Powell.
Yep.
Then in race 2, DJ Kennington led 17 laps to take the win, while Brendan Watson finished in
solid 2nd.
Led 23 laps. Andrew Ranger 3rd, Alex Bonnet 4th, and Trident Lapsevich, who led 30 laps, finished in 5th.
Yep.
While 16th place, Shea Gemmell retired, and after nasty in the pits. What happened?
Shea Gemmell was running solid. He got turned by Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 22. After the race, Marc-Antoine his car was pulling in. Shea Gemmell's pit crew chased after that car, and it got wild. Remember seeing that, Joseph? And it was interesting seeing the pit crew getting into it, and
it got ugly.
Yeah, and Marc-Antoine Cameron got a penalty. So that's why he did not start the third race. He got a park by NASCAR for dumping. That was a hard lick for Gemmell in the outside wall. He had driver's side
Already
first.
got hurt.
Oh, yeah, he got a possible concussion.
Shoot.
But race 3 was Andrew Ranger that one, but
He needed every point possible to win that championship.
Yeah, but
and so did DJ Kennington.
But during race 3, another funny thing before mentioning the results in race 3,
Yes.
the cameras were just focusing on the race. I remember, Joseph, we were just watching. They were focusing, I guess that the commentators saw that one of the drivers, I don't remember which driver it was, looking for another driver. They were walking around like it was Cole Powell looking for someone. They were walking. He was trying to get to someone. There was almost a fight in the garage area during the race, which commentators were talking about. I'm like, what the? And of all names, that the title name for the race was the Pinty's Fall Brawl. They wanted a, like, on the track, yes, but you don't want a little brawl in the garage area during the race. But other than that, Andrew Ranger won the third race of the weekend and the final race of the season. Yeah, Recware Racing, I know. People don't believe Recware Racing has competitive cars. Well, in the Penny Series, they do have competitive cars.
It's so fun to watch the racing that we had here.
Yeah, the races were interesting at Delaware. I always liked the track at Delaware Speedway. The Penny Series just always brings good races. Like, if you have not seen the Penny Series, check it out on YouTube. You can see highlights or full races from the last few years on YouTube. The Penny Series, it's a good sport. Like, I've seen it many times. I've seen it back. My first ever Penny Series race was 2015. It was obviously back then it was only tape delayed. I watched the Clarington 200 that Gary Clute won because Andrew Ranger and Scott Steckley crashed each other in the final corner at Canadian Tire for Gary Clute's first career win. But other than that, the Penny Series always brings some good racing. Road courses or street circuits or ovals, they're always it's always an interesting series. But Andrew Ranger brought his number 51 Recware Racing Dodge to the victory. I don't even remember who got second. Someone did.
Well, let's take a look at the final results. So,
Yep.
after the final race of the season, we had Andrew Ranger leading just the final 2 laps.
Yep.
Kevin Lacroix led 18 laps, and
Yep.
Peter Shepard III finished third.
Solid run.
Yep, Brandon Watson led 7 laps, finished fourth. DJ Kennington recovered from issues to finish fifth, but was not enough for him to get the championship.
6th place.
LP Dumoulin in 6th place picks up his third career championship, driving for the team owned by former NHL Marc Andre Bergeron. They're from the province of Quebec.
Yep.
Trident Lapsevich led 123 laps in the race, retired, but he, without a doubt, was Rookie of the Year. That first win is going to be there in no time for Trident Lapsevich. And Alex Tagliani in 17th got 22 Racing the Team's championship. Scott Steckley. Congratulations to them.
But Trident Lapsevich, he hit the inside wall hard on that restart. He clipped the left side of Dexter Stacy's Chevrolet. That spun him down into the inside wall, which was just concreted. Oh, that was a hard impact, and other cars and the reason Trey Lapsevich was back there. Remember prior to that, there was a wreck, and Trey Lapsevich spun into the wreck.
Yes, he was leading.
Yeah, and he had to go in the back because he was, involved because he got damage from it. But yeah, so that really hurt him. But Louis-Philippe Dumoulin, like LP Dumoulin, in that 47 Dodge, he had to get 7th or better. And he did get 7th or better to get the championship.
Just cracked it into 6th place.
But really solid run for LP. he knows how he's been. Oh, he's been consistent this year, and he's been not winning. He's been consistent.
Alpine Dumoulin, 42 years old from Trois Rivières, Quebec.
Yep.
Younger brother of Jean-Francois Dumoulin.
Yep.
And we've seen JF have his success in sports cars, winning two class wins at the 24 Hours of Daytona in the 2000s.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see if LP keeps just racing like this. The veterans still shine in Canada, and that just shows how awesome it is racing over there. And it's a short season, but next year, because Canada was not that open calendar year, so they had to wait until August to get the season going. So next year, it's gonna be awesome.
Yep, which usually they would start May. The reason they start in May is people, not just that, there's still snow in April in Canada. Yes, we get more snow than other places. So basically, we're not going to run a race in February, except if you had snow tires on. But no, the Penny Series does not rate. No, General Tire's not going to put snow tires because on the cars. That would be interesting. But other than imagining that, but still, the series usually starts in May at Canadian Tire. But there's been so many good races, the short track races, the street circuits, the road courses with CTMP. It's always interesting. Every time I watch the Penny Series, the car count is not even that bad.
Yeah, we always get a good average about 20-some cars every race.
Yeah, 20, 25, and the bigger races, the more prestigious. Other than that, it's not been bad compared to some ARCA races. Other than that, Penny Series.
We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's go through the final standings real quick. So LP Dumoulin gets the championship, 7 points over Andrew Ranger. So Dodge 1, 2, 3. DJ Kennington in third with 378 points. Fourth place was Chevrolet's highest driver Alex Tagliani, and then Trident and Lapsevich running out the top 5. Very good racing. Before we talk about ARCA, we did have another NASCAR championship that came to an end. Actually, 2 of them. First of all, congratulations to Peyton Sellers. Between 16 years after his first weekly national championship, he wins it again.
Wow.
In 2021.
Wow. Took a while.
21 years old to winning it in 2021.
Yeah.
Years later, he still shows that he has what it takes to be the best around the local circuits of stock car racing.
Yep.
Now on the modifieds, the big block modifieds, the NASCAR Wheel Modified Tour, it was once again Justin Bonsignor who had to do what he needed to do to get the win. He won the final race at Stafford, the final race of the year, beating 74 laps and picking up his 3rd career championship. Final results, though, Doug Covey led 1 lap, finished 2nd, Patrick Emerling 3rd, Kyle Bonsignor 4th, and Craig Lutz 5th. Anthony Nacella 6th. He led 77 of those laps.
Oof.
3 more than the winner.
Yeah.
Final standings. Let's talk about the top 10 real quick. It was Justin Bonsignor who got his 3rd career championship in the NASCAR Wheel Modified Tour. 2nd place, Patrick Emerling had a great late season charge, but it just wasn't enough. Ron Sook 3rd, Kyle Bonsignor in 4th, and Doug Covey rounded out the top 5. Eric Goodell 6th, Woody Pidcock, John McKennedy, Tyler Rickma, and Anthony Nacella were top 10, and the Owners' Championship went to the team owner of the Drivers' Championship, Kenneth Massa. And Chevrolet getting the job done for Justin Bonsignor's 3rd title. I think it was well-earned, to say the least.
Yeah, and also, the modified, also good season. There's some drivers that impressed me, Eric Goodale. He started off the season, remember, he won the Martinsville event. Then he had bad races. He had up and down races in parts of the season, which was interesting. Doug Covey still got a top 5 in points, missing a race. Yeah, he missed a race and still got a top 5. With missing, he missed one of the races because he was at Stafford for the SRX round, which he ended up winning that first SRX race ever. But other than talking about that, there's some drivers that don't know how, some drivers, they always run for one team in the season. Craig Lutz drove for 3 teams this season. He started out for the Russell Goodale's number 46. That team closed down in the midseason. He had one shot driving the number 82 for Danny Watts because Nocella was running another local race somewhere in Pennsylvania, so he drove the 82, and he got a drive with Sapienza's number 63, the second car to Dave Sapienza in the 63 for the final event. So Craig Lutz, he had a hard season when his team that he was running for shutting down. It's an opportunity for Danny Watts and then an opportunity for Sapienza's racing team. So he had a hard season going from 3 different rides.
Yeah. And that was it. That was a great championship. We're just about to. We got 2 more events to cover before we finally break into our race previews. We're going to bring up the ARCA West Series. They have 3 races to go, and boy, this championship battle is going to come down to the very end for sure. Yeah. Let's bring that up, shall we? Let me see. There we go. The short track, better known as the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We got to see some great action in the ARCA West levels. But it was Taylor Gray who put on the clinic. He led 123 laps, winning again. Back-to-back wins from the road course to the short track.
Yep.
Jake Drew finished second, leading 22 laps. Stays in this championship hunt.
Yep.
Trevor Huddleston in third. Joey E stays in this championship battle as well. Fourth. Kyle Keller fifth. And unfortunately for Jesse Love, and fortunately for everybody else, he lit 5 laps but finished in the 12th spot. Opened the door, pried it far open for everybody else to get to him. Let's bring that up now. The top 5 in this championship battle, which has 2 races to go. Jesse Love, the defending champion, with 325 points. Then Jake Drew is in second with 318 points.
7 points.
7-point difference. Third place, Cole Moore with 311 points. Fourth place, Joey East. And fifth place, Paul Pendrencelli Jr. are tied with 310 points. 15 points separate first through fifth.
Wow.
So close.
And for some people that expect the top runners, PJ Pedroncelli is P5 in his own equipment. Nobody expected him to run P5. He's doing so well in his own equipment. He qualified on pole at one of the races. He's been so strong this season. Being top 5 in points in his own equipment. Solid run for him. Yeah.
They go to Roseville All-American Speedway for
October 9th.
150-mile race on the 9th of October. It'll be the penultimate race, and then the final race will be at Phoenix as part of the NASCAR Cup Series weekend in November.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see who wins this ARCA West title because it's been close It's been close this season.
Last year it was a little more spread out. 2 years ago, definitely spread out. And
but
this
year, it's so close. 5 drivers are 15 points is the biggest gap between first through fifth. So it's 15 points. You could gain that in a race.
And you can lose that in a race.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes on October 9th.
All right, let's talk about the action in Martinsville Speedway.
Yep.
And meet 16-year-old Landon Pembleton.
Yep.
He's a Virginia native that decided to take a chance at the Martinsville Valley Star Credit Union 300.
Yep. Which is a big people.
And he won the damn thing.
Yep.
Overall, the main event.
Yeah, this is a big event. The biggest late model event of the season. Martinsville of all tracks, which they did have a race in 2020. They had a one in 2019, which Josh Berry led every lap in the race in 2019. But
I'm sure a lot of these guys were glad he was doing the Xfinity.
but he still won the Xfinity race during this race happening.
He probably would have won at Martinsville.
But Landon Pembleton, this race is hard to get into because there's heat races because there was 80 cars for 40 spots. So 40 of them would miss the field. So basically, heat races, you got to get through the heats, some heat races to get to the main event. It's hard to do that.
And he's not running the best equipment either.
Yeah, like he did this when his own equipment he had. Really solid.
So Landon Pembleton wins. Mike Looney second. Lane Riggs third. Sammy Smith fourth. And Jared Fryer finished in fifth. All right, now we can finally bring up the upcoming races. We have a lot on our plate for Talladega. The so frantic Talladega 500 is this weekend. The Yellowwood, or should I say Yellow Flag 500 Talladega. I'm just gonna pull up the just all the stuff I need before we go any further, just so that I have my stuff on hand. Xfinity and trucks. You have a sports car race to cover this upcoming weekend. First 12 hours of Hungary.
Yep.
Since 2014.
Okay, I made sure I got my stats page up. I know that anyone could win basically Talladega, but I always
car you can.
Yeah, but for me the stats, the reason is just to mask who I'm talking about. So it's basically to make sure they don't guess who I'm thinking of.
All right, let's look at the history of this race. The Talladega 500, around 31 and 36, second of 3 races in the round of 12. This year, Brad Keselowski took the win, tying 2 drivers to be second on the all-time wins list. Last year, Denny Hamlin got his win at Talladega. Luckily, he won't have to rely on it this year. First race was won by Richard Brickhouse in 1969, probably one of the most controversial moments in races of NASCAR history.
Yep.
Most wins, Dale Earnhardt. It's about to be 21 years since his 10th win at Talladega.
Yep.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, and now Brad Keselowski have 6 wins on that list. Bobby Allison, Buddy Baker, and Darrell Waltrip, 4 times they've won at Talladega. Then, looking down the list, Davey Allison, Joey Logano, David Pearson, and Kelly Yarbrough won this race 3 times. And then here's the list of 2-time winners. It's a long one. Donnie Allison, Ryan Blaney, Clint Boyer, Bill Elliott, Pete Hamilton, Denny Hamlin, Ernie Irvin, Dale Jarrett, Jimmy Johnson, Terry Labonte, Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, Jamie McMurray, and Richard Petty have won this race twice.
Wow.
Now let's look at the fall race for teams. Richard Schultz Racing lead this one with 8 wins.
Ooh.
Hendrick Motorsports with 6 wins, as well as Team Penske. Dale Earnhardt Incorporated won this race 4 times in the fall. Junior Johnson and Associates, 3-time wins, 3-time winner in the fall for that team. Then these teams have 2 wins. Petty Enterprises, Budmore Engineering, Rainier Lundy, Morgan McClure Motorsports, Robert Yates Racing, Roush Fenway Racing, and Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs Racing newest on that list. Most team wins for the fall race at Talladega. Chevrolet with 22, Ford with 16, Dodge with 3, as well as Mercury and Buick with 3, Plymouth Oldsmobile, and newest on the list, Toyota, 2-time winners for the fall race at Talladega. Now, let's bring out our predictions. I know this is where it's going to get frantic. I think this is the best shot for anybody, playoffs or not, to go to victory lane. How is this going to go?
Okay, I got my pick. This driver is a non-playoff driver, so I do have to pick, if there's a non-playoff driver, I got to pick a playoff driver for highest position. But, okay, my driver, this driver, he has 4 starts here. He only has one lap led. That's all of his career at Talladega. But his best finish here is 23rd. His worst finish is 42nd. I know it's not saying much, but that was his last start here. Came in 2015 at this track. This driver, he was announced recently. If nobody checked the World Racing Media Twitter, you don't know who I'm talking about. But this driver, his first time he's actually scheduled in a Cup race since 2015. This driver drives the number 77 Brandt Agriculture Chevrolet. Justin Allgaier is going to win at Talladega. Get his first career win.
That would be something.
Yeah.
That would be something if Justin
Yeah.
Allgaier finds a way to victory.
Yeah, it was his
Hey,
first
he's
time.
out there for one reason only.
Yeah,
Maybe outside of helping the guys at Hendrick Foot, still, it's a good deal.
And he actually, remember, he drove the 77 at Pocono. You know, Justin Haley's hard crash at Pocono.
Yes.
And he ran also Jimmy Johnson's 48, and Michael Andretti substituted 26. But this is the first time he's actually scheduled since when he drove for H Cup. But for me, the highest playoff driver, Brad Keselowski, highest playoff driver. Good. He has 6 wins at Talladega. So I say Brad's going to be the highest playoff driver at Talladega. Who's your pick?
Lucky this year.
Yep. Who's your pick, Joseph?
Well, this is going to be the. I know it's going to make a lot of fans happy.
Oh.
This driver's worked so hard, and he doesn't know where he's going next year in the Cup Series, or if he even gets a chance to have it.
Okay.
But he came so close last year and this year. It's just, you can't be this good and not win. He's going to finally get the win. It's Matt DiBenedetto. He's going to get his first career win. He's going to get the Wood Brothers their 100th win and break that 4-year drought.
Oh, that would be cool to see.
It would be popular.
Oh, really? It would.
It would probably be the moment of the year. He's such a great driver. Let me go ahead and a playoff driver. I think a driver I would say is in the playoffs that would get a good run going might just be Ryan Blaney. He knows how to stay out of trouble and also take the right risks when needed. So I am going with car number 12 on that discussion. All right. Let's talk about the events on Saturday. The Xfinity Series at Talladega, 300 miles for the second time in history. A fall race at Talladega for the Xfinity Series. There's a team going for 4 wins in a row. And this year, of course, we had Jeff Burton taking the win for Colleague Racing and Colleague Racing Zone. Justin Haley won last year. It's round 28 and 33, the second of 3 races in the round of 12. First race was held in 1992, won by Ernie Irvan. Now, who has the most wins at Talladega? Martin Truex Jr. He did something Justin Haley almost done. Went 3 in a row, 2004, 2005, and 2006. Justin Haley won twice, sweeping 2020. Joey Logano won twice for 2 different teams. Joe Nemechek won twice for his own team, and Elliott Sadler won twice for 2 different teams. Now, who has the most team wins? 5 for Joe Gibbs Racing, 3 for Colleague Racing, 3 for Chance 2 Motorsports, 2 wins for Dale and Hunter Incorporated, Roush Fenway Racing, Team Penske, Junior Motorsports, and Nemco Motorsports. Who has the most wins by manufacturer? 19 for Chevrolet, 6 with Ford, 4 from Toyota, 1 from Dodge, and 1 from Pontiac. I'd rather feel, you brought a Chevy at Talladega, you're probably going to do well. Yes. And if you have some sort of affiliation with Gibbs or a team owned by Mr. Earnhardt himself, Dale Earnhardt Jr., you'll probably be in good hands.
Okay. Oh, I got to get my stats.
I got the entry list.
Okay.
Maybe I can finally refresh the racing reference page that I was so reluctant to doing all day.
Hey, okay. Okay, my driver that I have for this week, this driver's stats, he has 2 Talladega starts. This driver has 0 wins, 0 top 5s, 2 top 10s, 2 top 20s, an average finish of average start 9.5, best finish of 6, lowest finish of 7. This driver, he's a non-playoff driver. He runs full-time in another series. Driver of the number 54, John Hunter Nemechek, is going to win at Talladega, get career win number 2 in the Xfinity Series, and help Joe Gibbs Racing, number 54, to the owner's title. And for a playoff driver, I have Justin Haley as for a playoff driver. Colleague's been good, so I have Justin Haley for a playoff driver, but I have John Hunter winning for Joe Gibbs as 54 this weekend.
Wow. For my pick, I'm going to go ahead and take Austin Cindric. He's going to win this race outright.
Okay.
He's going to finally get control of the Colleague team. But it's going to be tough. I mean, he's on his own. He doesn't have any teammates out there to work with him.
Yeah.
Ford is the least prevalent manufacturer in the series in terms of factory support, so it's tough. It's tough to be Austin Cindric at a race like this. But we'll see what happens. As long as he stays in front, I mean, you get the stage points, he might just be locked into the next round going into this. All right, Truck Series. Oops, there you go. 250 miles of Talladega. It's the 15th year of a race like this. The first race was hectic, of course. Well, let's look at the history of the Truck Series race at Talladega. Last year, Rafael Osar of Canada took his first win in the Truck Series driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports and Toyota. First race was held in 2006, won by Mark Martin. This is round 20 of 22. The second of 3 races in the round of 8. 3 races to go in the championship. It's getting close to the end. Who has the most wins? Timothy Peters with 3. 2 wins from Todd Bodine, Kyle Busch, and Parker Klickerman. Now, for team wins, 3 wins for Red Horse Racing, 2 wins from Germain Racing, GMS Racing, Kyle Busch Motorsports. They got 2 wins. Most wins for a manufacturer. Drive a Toyota here if you want to win. They have 10 wins. Chevrolet, 4. For Ford, 1 win. What do you know? Statistically speaking, by the way, the only Ford win was the inaugural race with Mark Martin. So,
that's interesting.
Where do we go with this? I mean, this is like a big wild card match. We don't even know what to expect.
Yeah.
Featuring Vince Welch behind the booth. I'm not asking to replace him, but like, I'm here if you want, Fox.
What? Well,
I like Vince Welch.
Yeah, but he's not. I've seen worse commentators before.
Maybe that guy who works with ESPN. That's not
but like, okay, I got my pick. It's another non-playoff driver. I keep picking non-playoff drivers because this is a wild card, but this driver, he has 4 Talladega starts. He has an average finish of 13.25, average start of 27.3, but he drove for not the best equipment in his first ever season with this team that's unspecified. He started 32nd, finished 19th, but he finished 7th in 2018, 21st in 2019, and last year he finished 6th. He drives his own truck. He got a solid run at Daytona, finished 2nd. Driver of the number 3, Jordan Anderson, is going to win at Talladega and get his first career win for his own team. And for the highest playoff driver, I have Chandler Smith, the highest playoff driver. He finished 3rd here last year, and he almost could have won Daytona, but I have Jordan Anderson winning in his own truck.
Right. Last year he had a heartbreaking end to the race. This year it will be the complete opposite. Stuart Friesen will win Talladega.
Oh yeah, better than what happened last year when he crashed and collected Eckes and many trucks. But yeah, he has a good shot at winning in that 52 truck.
Well, one sports car race.
12 hours of Hungary. Not
too many entries, but it is a filler race.
6 plus 2, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17. I counted 17 in total. But it's also a filler race, if people didn't remember. Copa Florio is not on the schedule this season. Got what is it called? Canceled. Canceled for the. That's why, if people didn't know. I just saw on Sportsnet just talked. I guess Baltimore's leading Boston. I heard 3-2. Yeah, Boston is losing 3-2 in the 7th. The Yankees are winning 3-2 against the Blue Jays. I guess that Boston doesn't want to do good in the playoffs. That starts soon anyway. Other than talking about baseball, no, World Baseball Media does not exist yet. It's not let's get into that. Just things. I mean, we don't really have
too many. Like some of the
Yeah,
entries are not finalized just yet. They're
yeah,
actually the
but
ones that aren't.
some I see, I know, we have Herbert Motorsport, CP Racing.
The driver lineups for the Volkswagens aren't confirmed yet.
The
They'll be fierce.
we know the old 101. The Broikers are in this class again, in the TCR class. 188's there. TCX only has the number 210 of Munch Cuff Racing. So for me, GT3, I have the number 85 CP Racing Mercedes of Charles Espinlove, Joe Foster, Shane Lewis, and Charles Putnam in the number 85. It's your pick, Joseph. Is it Herbert Motorsports number 91?
It's 91. Alpha Renard, Ralph Budget, Alvin. No word on Robert showing up. Might have another event or something. But GTX has 2 entries.
The
Depending on where they finish
701.
overall.
I have the number 701 Vortex V8 driven by Philippe Bonnell, Gilles Courtois, and Nicholas Dobbs.
Me too. I think the Vortex is there. As long as they can keep the pieces together, they should take the win.
991, there's only one entry, the 955. GT4, one entry, the 438. P4, the 500. TCR, 4 entries, with the Volkswagen not confirmed.
Yes, but I have a feeling one of those cars will win.
Okay, well, I have the number 101, Red Campbell's Jordan NL, driven by Ivo Broikers, Luke Broikers, and Rick Broikers, the number 101.
They were running the 991 class I guess we'll see how back to this one. Maybe to add to the competition.
And TCX only has the 210, Munchkoff Racing.
Right, a BMW M4 GTR.
Yeah, so there's... yeah.
Well, looking at it, let's not forget about the P4 entry here.
Yeah.
However, the reason why the number 500 Audi R8 LMS Evo GT3 Evo 2 prepared by Car Collection Motorsport is not in the GT3 classes. It does not meet the homologation for FIA Group GT3 yet. This is a new car that's supposed to come out in the future.
Yeah.
Evo 2 compared to the GT3 Evo that we see from Audi, the R8 LMS brand. But I will say is that I want to ask this question. What position overall will that 500 car finish?
Overall?
Yes, with Nathaniel Berton, Martin Leckman, and Martin Rump.
I'd say 4th overall. They'll not be on the podium, but they'll be 4th, right behind the podium.
They got 5th overall last time.
I feel like
I think I have good stuff going.
Yeah, I feel like they'll be. I think they'll be 4th, just one spot behind the podium in that number 500 entry.
Yep, and that race will be pretty early in the morning over there.
Yeah,
for the race. I mean, it's gonna be broken down into 2 parts. The first part of the race will be late afternoon, and October 3rd, 8:30 a.m. local time will be the rest of the race.
Wait, how long is the race? It's 24 hours, right?
12 hours of Hungary, it says.
Okay, what? Okay, whoever wrote this is not smart enough.
Maybe it is. I mean, listen, the 24 hours they're experimental, so I
don't. No. Whoever wrote this on Wikipedia put Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 12.
Should it be 10 hours?
No, it says 2 and 12, according to them. I guess whoever wrote that does not know how to calculate too well. But other than that person, it's going to be interesting, the races. ARCA has a race, if people didn't know. ARCA is running at Salem for round 19 of 20, and the final race in the Sea Chief, that showdown they have at
but it's supposed to be one-sided.
Yeah, but Cody Swanson's in the race, Jean-Philippe Bergeron in the number 46. He'll run the final 2 ARCA races, plus Phoenix in the West Series in this 46 car. People, why Tad Moffitt? Tad Moffitt has also sponsor issues. But other than that, people are probably wanting not Tad Moffitt in the field. With recently, if you did not watch recent ARCA races and Tad Moffitt.
Can't seem to stay out of trouble, I guess.
and also people in Michigan, people don't remember that.
We don't need to get into the details.
No, but it's good. Yeah, they have their race, which
Ultimate race.
Yep, which Corey Heim is 26 back. He has to do something. But Ty Gibbs is unstoppable. Ty Gibbs looking to win at Salem, heading to Kansas, but that's all the races this weekend.
Yeah, it was a busy one this past weekend, and now we're gonna look ahead and for a safe race.
Yep.
I want to leave this on a note. Some condolences out to the Vinales family. Dean Bert Vinales, a 15-year-old prodigy in motorcycle Grand Prix racing, lost his life on Saturday in a crash in the World Superbike FIM sanctioned event at Jerez circuit at Jerez. He was only 15 years old. He's a cousin, notably, of Maverick Vinales, Aprilia factory rider in the MotoGP ranks, and it's the second time we've seen this year. It's just racing, People do what they love. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you all for tuning in for this podcast. For my partner Justin Ebert, I am Joe Lenny Powell, and we're going to sign off. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully back on the Mondays. Thank you for showing up on this Tuesday.